¿Qué onda, chavos? What's up, guys? Levi here with Mexican Fluency, where I help gringos to crack the Mexican code. Today, we are going to be using either your iPhone or your iPad, whatever you usually use, or an Android, if you're on an Android, of course. But we're going to be diving into Chat GPT's app, and I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of things that you can be doing to improve your Spanish. And in the case of this channel, I always focus in on Mexican Spanish. I think focusing in on one dialect really helps you to become fluent in the language faster and in a more direct, focused way. So we'll be using that as a point of reference. But of course, if you guys are into learning Colombian Spanish, or you're obsessed with Colombia or Argentina or Spain, just switch out the word Mexican for whichever country that you're trying to use, okay? So let's dive in. So today in ChatGPT, we're going to be looking at a few things. So the first thing that you can do to improve your Spanish using ChatGPT is you simply go to your profile, create a profile if you don't already have one. I pay for ChatGPT Plus. I think it's totally worth it. It's so cheap for as much value as it's giving you. So you can come in here though, and you can actually go to app language. If you want to change the language, one of the first things you can do is you can click on app language and you can change that to Spanish if you want to. I don't have mine in Spanish, but I probably am going to do that because I think it's kind of cool. You can change it to Español Latinoamérica or Español from Spain, you know, typical Castilian Spanish. So that's kind of a cool thing if you want to be really immersed in ChatGPT. I haven't done that just yet, but I think I might. I think I might actually. So another thing that you can do with ChatGPT is to very simply ask it to speak to you in whatever type of Spanish you want it to. So let's say, speak to me in informal Mexican Spanish, okay? And so there will be certain people who watch my YouTube channel, who watch my Instagram is where I have the most followers, and they always will say, there's no such thing as Mexican Spanish. It's all Spanish. We all understand one another. Of course, that is mostly true. But Mexican Spanish, for example, has its own predominant, in general, accent or accents. It has its own vocabulary. It has its own slang, its own culture, its own history, etc. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay? So I just put it in Mexican Spanish, and it says, Claro, le dice. It thinks my name is Levice instead of Levi. ¿Cómo te va? ¿Qué onda? ¿En qué andas hoy? Okay, so it's already starting out talking to me in Mexican Spanish. And so one of the things you can do here is just have conversations with it, right? Like, one awesome thing with ChatGPT now, with a newer version, is you can simply type in what you want to say. Like, you could say, hey, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien. ¿Y tú? Have a conversation about any topic you want, typing it. But you can also do this. You can actually also hit this, the microphone, and you can start saying things. So I could say, ¿Qué onda, güey? Estoy muy bien. Gracias. ¿Y tú? Oh. So put it in English here. Let's try this here in Spanish, actually. Maybe I didn't have it in Spanish. Let's try this. Let's put it back in Spanish. ¿Qué onda, güey? Estoy súper bien. Pues estoy aquí grabando un video. ¿Y tú? There we go. And the response is, órale, qué padre. ¿Estás grabando un video para Mexican Fluency o es algo nuevo? Yo aquí ando, chambeando y ayudando a gente como siempre. Qué chido. Okay, so another cool thing you can do with ChatGPT is I can get it to read me this in Spanish. So check this out. So let's go read aloud.
Órale, qué padre. ¿Estás grabando un video para Mexican Fluency o es algo nuevo? Yo aquí ando chambeando y ayudando a gente como siempre.
Okay, cool. So it just read it to me in Spanish. It's pretty funny because the accent has really improved a lot. It used to be kind of this like white guy gringo accent. So let's listen to that one more time. Let's see how that sounds again.
Órale, qué padre. ¿Estás grabando un video para Mexican Fluency o es algo nuevo? Yo aquí ando chambeando y ayudando a gente como siempre.
It's not too bad, actually. It's not too bad. So you can have conversations like that. That's another way you can be using ChatGPT to improve your Español. The third thing that you can be doing to improve your Spanish with ChatGPT is very simply to get it to create lists for you. So for example, I could say, please create a list of vocabulary words, let's say 50 vocabulary words about the backyard. Please create a 50 word list for me, Spanish to English. I want to focus on vocabulary for the backyard in Mexican Spanish. Cool. And so now this is going to give me a big list of vocabulary words that I can either study here directly, or I could copy these and put them into an app like Quizlet. And that app will help me to bone up my Spanish vocabulary by using flashcards, playing games, doing things like that. Just basically allowing myself to digest a vocabulary in a more effective way. So yeah, that's something that I actually teach a lot in my free course, the Spanish Vocabulary Booster. I'll put that link down below. So guys, click that link, join my course. I go into this stuff a lot more in depth. The fourth thing you can do, this is something I like to do whenever I am teaching private classes. I'm actually teaching classes. What I like to do is to have Chat GPT give me a dialogue or a story. You can choose. It can either be a story, just a simple story, or it can just be a dialogue. So I could ask it, say, okay, please give me a dialogue between two friends, Levi and Carlos. They're talking about the backyard. Use a lot of this vocabulary in the conversation. And you could say this too. Please make it intermediate level Spanish. Okay, cool. Boom. It's already turning out a conversation. Here we go. ¿Qué onda, Carlos? ¿Cómo va todo? ¿Qué tranza, Levi? ¿Todo bien, hermano? Oye, ¿y qué andas haciendo? Pues aquí en el jardín, tratando de arreglar unas cosas. Okay. ¿Cómo? Okay. ¿Te acuerdas del asador que compré? Okay, awesome. I like it. So that's something else you can do. You can have it churn out different study materials for you. I think that's pretty cool. And also too, I could actually even do this. I could hold it and let's have it read it out loud to me now.
Sure, here's a dialogue between Levi and Carlos that incorporates much of the backyard vocabulary you provided. Levi, ¿qué onda, Carlos? ¿Cómo va todo? ¿Qué tranza, Levi? Todo bien, hermano. Oye.
See, now the gringo accent came back on. So it's not always going to work. You have to like really be careful about how you're setting everything up. I think in time, Chat GPT is going to continue. I mean, obviously, it's going to continue to develop very quickly, and it will recognize when it's Spanish to use a Spanish accent. If I'm telling it to specifically sound more Mexican, I think it will adjust in the future. Right now, you know, it's still in its infancy, but it's super impressive. There's a myriad of other things that I could probably come up with to do with Chat GPT, but for right now, I just wanted to show you guys these very, very basic things. You can start doing that today. Even if you just have your phone, you can get the Chat GPT app or just use the browser. You could use your computer, of course, or if you have an iPad, I think an iPad's kind of cool because it's just a little bigger. It's a little bit easier to read, especially for old guys like me. So guys, if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to share with some other folks who you know who are learning Spanish. And if you guys are interested in joining my courses, please head over to MexicanFluency.com, click on courses, check out everything that I offer. I have some foundational courses. I have Mexican Spanish focus course, and I also have some other unique individual courses there. A lot of them are focused on different things, such as pronunciation, building a vocabulary, etc., etc. Oh, also, remember to join my very free course, very much free course. I'm going to put that down here in the description. Join the course. I'm going to teach you a lot more about using ChatGPT to boost your vocabulary, specifically focus on vocabulary building. So if you like the video, I think you're going to love that. Bueno, chavos, nos vemos muy pronto en el próximo video. Follow me on Instagram if you don't already, or at TikTok if you're into that sort of thing. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Adios.